Alright, welcome to another show and tell, a rubber stamping show and tell. This one's going to be fairly quick because I cannot read anything that's in here except for the cover. Art specially, okay? I believe this to be a Dutch publication, and it is from 2007, so not, relatively speaking, too old. I've been doing, other show and tells from things from the 90s and such. But this was sent to me by my former retailer there, in Home Impressions, and Ria Vaneman, and she sent me this card here talking about the article on Stampscapes on page 32 and 33. So I thought I would do a little flip through of this book, but you can see the scene that she made right here, and you'll see this later on in the article, okay? So, this, like I said, I believe it to be a Dutch publication, rubber stamping publication, and it looks really great. And I was looking through this, and I thought, oh, look at that right there. The color box stylus tool being used, and it looks like they have the heart-shaped foam tip there. And this one looks like one of the black tips right there. I don't know if they used it on these, but it's kind of set up with this spread here going into, I guess, I don't know, is Valentine's Day out in the Netherlands, or is this just kind of a spread about hearts? I don't know. I'm guessing there is, because I think this was an April issue right here. They have the information in the back. I was trying to find a date everywhere. But again, this isn't going back too far, and I'm looking at all these pieces, and if you look at magazines from, the 90s, of course, there weren't too many accessories out there, and there was a certain type of stamping being done just for the lack of, supplies and media out there. But by this point in time, a lot of the different things were out there, a lot of the different papers, a lot of designers getting into it with scrapbooking and such. So all of these pieces look, I don't think any of them look dated to me. I think they all look very timely here, and I don't know, whatever, modern. There's kind of more of the collage-y types of looks on these pieces, and just really nicely embellished. And, people are still doing pieces that look, similar to this in style. It was always a really great look. And I love the layering and just the textures that are happening in these pieces. This grouping right here has a really great kind of visual bridge, between all of them. I mean, all of them have a similar style to them, but they have that visual bridge of the circles working in here that look really great. I mean, these days, if these things were, they can use a cutter like a Cricut or something like that, and if these pieces were in circles, and matted with another circle around it, that would look really fantastic, and it would, I don't know, kind of reiterate the visual bridge that's working through all of these. So that's something that you could have done nowadays that I guess you could do it back then, but it would be a little bit more, I don't know, kind of complicated or whatnot, just getting that format down. But these days you can come up with any of those different types of shapes, which is really great. Home Impressions, that was the company that carried Stampscapes at the time, and there was Stampscapes.nl for Netherlands, okay? And you can see that right there. That was one of her ads in this magazine right here. But, I don't know, interesting to go through and see some of these different publications from other countries that were out at the time. There's not too many ads in this one. I kind of liken this a little bit more to like a Somerset Studio or something like that, just full of cards and techniques and whatnot, more than advertising. So, not against advertising. I always kind of find interest looking at the ads and seeing what was going on in the industry in these different publications from those times. But really great looking pieces in here. Look at this torn paper type of thing in here, and then the torn piece, and there's, it's also matted on another torn piece, and just a lot of layering going on. And really fantastic use of texture. I don't know, people really knew what they were doing, that had pieces in this book. I guess the designers for this book, I don't know. But I don't know. If you're from the Netherlands, maybe, all of these, maybe you have some of your pieces in here, but or you recognize some of the pieces that were done by people in here. And yeah, it does have that kind of, it has that real fusion, early on in stamping, it was, I don't know, the cards, the envelopes and everything, it was, 90% rubber stamp. Um, I don't know, whatever activity within the pieces, okay? But then you had scrapbooking coming along, and just the incorporation of a lot more different types of papers and other types of materials used to create the cards. You saw that really being done and incorporated, and brads and everything like that. Here's a piece of vellum in here, so just a lot of that going on, and then kind of more of an isolated usage on a lot of the pieces of the rubber stamp impression. So um, I don't know. You see it interspersed throughout. You see that kind of. I don't know if it was a transition zone or something like that. That probably came a lot, a few years earlier. So you saw more of the. I don't know, kind of the refined kind of elements and I don't know, combinations of things in these pieces. These are some really amazing looking kind of three-dimensional pieces in here. I've never seen, I don't know, some of these things. You guys have probably seen it before. I haven't. I don't even know what really they are here. Maybe it's one of those things that you kind of fold out and you can put things in, I think. I don't know what you call those. You'll have to tell me. Um, let's see. So going into some advertisements here. A lot of the advertisements are from stores. I don't know how many manufacturers there were at the time there. I'm sure there were, but I just don't know. Okay, so here's some of those pieces, and here's the original piece right here, used in the article, which is cool. But Ria Vaneman again. Um, this is probably her stamping out a scene down here, doing it in a step-by-step format. You can see the end result right here. Really great use of colors and lighting within this piece. The cabin with fence right there. But just a really nice article right here. It's funny. I remember doing these types of step-by-step types of sequencing examples for different publications in the past. Sometimes before we were doing things like digital photography, at this point in time, if it was an earlier type of thing, like from the 90s or something like that, and you were submitting it for a different magazine instead of just taking like photographs like this, okay, because you weren't going to do it on film or something like that. You had to have really good studio lighting and things like that to take a good photograph. I guess you could, and I guess that was being done a little bit at the time, but you would have to send in maybe the negatives or prints to be scanned in by the publication. I mean, I was doing scans back then too, but you wouldn't have, the person's hands in it, so it'd have to be photographed. So, digital, photography and whatnot, coming in handy for the publications by this point in time. I mean, well along the line, the way, what is it, digital photography was kind of early on in the, like the early 2000s and whatnot. I think my first digital cameras was around 2001 maybe. It's amazing how things have changed just over the last 20 years. 20 years seems like a long time ago, but just the sheer amount of changes in terms of what digital, I don't know, everything has meant to the world and the internet in general. Here's Home Impressions right here, and here's De Stimpelwinkel. They are they've long been, the retailer for Stampscapes in the Netherlands and the surrounding countries there. That carry the full line of Stampscapes. Thanks to Ria and Jetski, for carrying the line all this time. But yeah, I don't know, going through this, you see some really great looking pieces in here. Like I said, I'll just flip through this quickly because, I can't read it. I kind of get I don't know, you get the little bit of a idea. Here's like events that were happening. 2nd of June, 2007, different types of, I don't know what they were. Like I said, I can't read it, so I guess there were some different types of, I don't know if there was a convention ever in the Netherlands. I think it was always in Germany, and probably in the UK. But here's Home Impressions again. I think this is their 3rd ad in this magazine that I saw here. So, just a really great little publication. I really like the format here. This, I don't know, what is it, square? Yeah. But, I don't know, it looks really cool and very professionally put together and designed. So, I don't know, I think this is the only issue I had, and I think it's because, my client out there sent me the copy of it with that article in there. So, always very cool to see. And, yeah, it was always a real pleasure to see what people were doing with the stamps all over the place. But, how they were making their way into the different publications, from around the world and whatnot. And, yeah. Art Specially for You event, Newland, 14th and 15th of 2007. Looks like these are maybe the designers or whatnot. Looks like they have aprons all with the logo for this publication here. So they're all, I'm guessing they were probably all contributors to all of the samples in here. So a lot of talent out there. All right. And a lot of talent there and in this creation of this book here. So, Art Specially for You, 2007. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.